To give a shout out to Pixel Palace, who has helped us with streaming this event and is the reason we're able to be broadcasting to you. Brian is a huge fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh community we have, and he's been a great help. Brendan, if you want to say a couple words about Worthy Financial.
Yeah, so Worthy Financial is a investment banking app, and pretty much how it works is you spend $10, you buy a bond, and the bond is used to give you 5% interest compounded annually. Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
So yeah, Worthy Financial, it's an app that goes on your phone. It works similarly to a savings account in the fact that you earn interest compounded annually. It's 5%, it's guaranteed, so yeah, pretty good. Check them out.
Yeah, so long as you have it right left. Okay, it'll be fine. All right, thanks. All right, so we're gonna need to change the names. The names.
Yeah.
Here. So Ramiro's changed to the left. What's his name?
P.
PHI.
I believe so. Yes.
It's F.
Yeah.
F-H-I.
Sorry.
F-H-I. Oh, P-H-I. Sorry.
You
P.
said the wrong letter.
Yeah, I said it wrong. That's my fault. That's fine. It's been a long day, all right?
That's okay. It's been a long day.
That one's Ramiro. Yep.
There we go.
Gold.
Oh. Awesome.
Oh yeah, Witty, go put up a timer. They can't see that. That's cheating.
Actually, doesn't the room cut in half there? Why don't you just...
Is the music always playing?
Yes. Because you can hear it on the stream,
Yeah.
so it's not just dead silent.
Should be an interesting matchup. I know Ramiro's playing Pendulum. Do we know? I think Phi is also playing Pendulum. Is that correct?
He's playing Orcus.
Orcus? Gotcha.
You know what the winner gets?
I don't believe they know what each other...
That's why I said it quietly.
Yeah, but just to verify,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think...
43 cards. Interesting.
And here we go. Looks like we're off.
Looks like Ramiro won the die roll and has chosen to go first.
Looks like Witty's about to be hitting the start of the round.
The duelists have presented their decks to each other and are about to draw their hand, waiting on the clock to start.
You're in danger.
It's alright, we got a timer over here. Judge isn't got a timer.
All right.
Tell them I've got the time.
Okay. So time has started.
Alright, here we go.
Looks like Ramiro is whipping out a pendulum deck, starting early with his combos.
Harmonizing, getting that third counter on Servant.
That's a combo right there. Oh, if I had the Ash. Looks like Ramiro pendulum summoned one Jackal and passed his turn. Permanence on the Jackal, so Jackal will not be able to gain counters this turn to negate. Ooh. Fi pulls out the Trickstar late stage. He will be adding Candina to hand and then normal summoning it and adding Carabane. Linking 2 directly into Nightmare Cerberus, I believe, or Phoenix. Phoenix to hit one of the scales.
Most likely the Servant here.
That was a good move.
To tune the Eagle Booster, as he knows his opponent has no cards in hand and can't really respond to the Mermaid.
It's right about now that I bet he's grateful he has Mermaid in his deck.
Yeah.
Got very lucky that this tournament.
This was old format, yes. I agree. This looks like Fi has the game almost guaranteed. Ramiro has no cards in hand. One card in scale, while Fi has a Cosmic Cyclone, which means that no matter what, Ramiro will only be able to get one scale on board. On Girsu. Oh,
Girsu?
pointing at the Cerberus, that means he's going to be using his effect to send him. Yep. It's like Ramiro just lost his only monster with 2 cards left on board and a Cosmic in hand.
Setting Crescendo off Galtair first.
Not sure if people in chat know this, but they can't actually reach out to the players, so all of their advice is going to us, the commentators, which is funny, I will say, but... I feel like we can make an ASMR video out of this, you know, just like commentators whisper Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel to unsuspecting Twitch spectators.
Looks like they're already going to game 2 here. Ramiro was not
That's true.
able to
That's true.
do anything on his second turn since he only had the 1 card in hand and nothing left on board except for his field spell.
So what are we gonna see on the side?
Well, it depends on how each player's gonna decide.
Looks like Fi is siding in almost all of his side deck.
Wow.
Oh no, wait, never mind. He's just dividing up cards that he's going to be taking in and out. That's clever. That's a clever way to do it. I actually kind of like that. So what are you standing up for? This is a tournament in old format. This is the last old format event. Yeah, so that's why he's playing Mermaid. Hopefully that explains everything for you. Looks like both of them are siding out quite a few cards. Looks like almost entire deck.
Do you think they were prepared for this matchup?
Huh?
Do you think they were prepared
Yeah,
for the matchup?
very, apparently. Wow. If you look at it, they both actually have sided out. Or no, wait. Sided, yeah, out their Cosmic Cyclones, which I find interesting. Looks like they both took them out of their main deck. Did he? That was so... Yeah. For the turnout today was actually really good. We had, what, 7, 8 schools?
7 teams.
Yeah, we had a lot. We had a lot. Pretty decent group round. A lot of prize support. Yeah, have a good one. So the final outcome was Ohio State came in first place, Indiana came in second, Kent State came in third, and Miami came in fourth.
Is that?
Yeah, I believe so. It may have been Kent and Miami swapped for third and fourth.
Great turnout, though.
Max actually left earlier. I'm sorry.
That makes sense. 'Cause I'm like,
He scrubbed out and he left.
Sadly, Ohio State had 2 teams in the tournament today, and he was on the second team, Team Gray.
when are we getting
I think he joined solos.
He did
We had a
join
feature
solos.
match with Max.
Hmm?
We had a feature match with Max.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Nice.
Salamander versus
Draco?
True Draco.
True
Yeah,
Draco.
yeah, I heard about that. I heard that was actually a good matchup.
It was a very good match.
only have different types? Oh, right. You know, I remember seeing you now. I remember. I'm like, wait.
If you've been looking at a lot of the pendulum decks that I've seen recently, most of them have been swapping out magician cards for a lot of extra Endymion cards. And I've heard that it actually increases consistency. I know that Ryan earlier today was actually playing a slightly larger Endymion build, took out some of the magicians, and it's been working for him.
Yeah, I mean, I hear there's various reasons why he went ahead and cut the Magician engine altogether.
It's good to see that the deck has a future.
I just turn on your tag. No. But then that didn't pop up in testing yesterday.
Final attendance came out. Actually, I don't think we counted heads. We will count heads after this, like with all the registration slips, and we will let you know. Yeah. Yeah. Higher than expected, I would say. We had more people come in for like outside of groups as well. Like we had individuals come in and register and whatnot. So, yeah.
I can't wait for zombies to get that.
Yeah. We were expecting at least 3 schools to drop, and that's about how many dropped. So you have to take into account, a lot of people will say they'll do something and then have to dip out early. But we look forward to seeing them at future events. Just because they couldn't go this year doesn't mean they won't be able to go, next event. I know 2 of them actually are in California, so they're looking to go to the next one even if they can't go to this one this year. It was really impressive that Washington go. Yeah. I'm crazy excited for the next event too. I believe Chuck Bonsu. His team came in 3rd or 4th. Yeah, I believe it was 7 teams. But there were a lot of people who did solo outside of those teams as well.
So we're providing bed cards.
We currently have 3 judges at this single table watching the game.
Well, it's the only match still going on.
Exactly.
The judges got to make sure that people aren't
I was going to
cheating
say
enough.
it's just that.
Yeah, exactly. Or are they going to go round up the people making deck profiles and scold them? Be like, hey, that's not legal anymore. This is the finals of the solo tournament, yes. So there was a team event that ended a couple hours ago. This is the solo bracket, so any team that did not make it into the final 4 of the group event, all of those members were eligible for the solo event, whereas if you made the group finals, you could not enter the solo event. So this is the finals of the solo event.
I didn't have the size for zombies.
It's looking like a pretty decent matchup. Hit him with the Dark Ruler No More early on, so it's pretty neat. It's a good way to even the matchup. You can tell Ramiro is not having a good time right now.
It is a tough side for him to deal with.
If Thai is able to capitalize on this, that'd be game right there.
Pretty big. I know that some Pendulum players have opted to play the Zephyr engine because you can play Divine Strike, which is able to negate the Dark Ruler no more.
Fortunately, with the heavier Endymion build, that does remove your ability to play the Zephyr engine, and as such, you don't get to keep the Divine Strike.
Yeah.
Not that many people have been playing Dark Ruler no more, so I can see why Pendulum players would get more comfortable playing without the Divine Strike, but it's nice to have. And it looks like the final match has gathered a crowd.
So my deck says you can only do that for zombies. They either make a big zombie or they're not gonna have a zombie. Oh, sorry. And if it's not a zombie, they can't do it. So they didn't get to play the game.
Ramiro gaining extra counters for the Dark Ruler no more.
Gamma, I forgot to return Gamma. Or sorry, Omega. Omega's still in Vanish. And we're just like, okay. So Omega was just still vanished, and so was the this Thunder Dragon. It was really hilarious.
Symbol Skeleton gets the Galatea back. They'll be using the Longirsu effect to shuffle back 2 and to send
Yeah, you're right.
probably the interesting. Could send the Electromite since it's linked to Galatea, but he could also send the
You could send any of
the
them.
Amorphage. You could also send the Cerberus. Yeah, he has lots of options. Looks like he's sending the Electromite to grave. Setting the Crescendo for next turn. Making sure that his opponent can't make a comeback play. It's effective. That's true. Clutch Dark Ruler, yeah. You're reading Purple Poison. So Purple Poison's effect is that if it's destroyed, it goes to the extra deck like most pendulums do, or all pendulums do, and then it gets to destroy 1 card on the field. So I think what's going on here is Fi is debating whether or not he should pop that scale, or if he should go for a different scale or a different play altogether, or if he should just send it with Dingirsu as well. Since he can recycle the Symbol Skeleton with Galatea, I think he's going to opt to send something. And he is sending the Purple Poison to avoid Purple Poison's pop effect. Removing one of his scales as well limits his options for next turn.
Definitely.
Swinging over the Master Cerberus, so that's not Master Cerberus.
Jackal King.
Jackal King, that's what they are. I've been saying Cerberus this whole time. Yeah, Jackal King. Oh,
And
wow.
Control.
This looks like a rough time for Ramiro. Linking into the Galatea with the Jackal King as well. Setting 1 and passing turn. So it looks like right now Ramiro has to play a scale high enough to pendulum some decent monsters out. However, he does have to bait out the Crescendo, so in order to do that, he would have to activate 2 scales high enough.
He's actually in a pretty difficult spot here because since he has Sloth on board, he can't special summon from the extra deck. So even if he gets a second scale out, he can only pendulum
Oh,
summon.
he can't
from
pendulum
the
summon
hand.
anyway, that's true.
Yep.
Well, he would need to get a scale, and also because of Sloth on board as well, that's correct. So he'd have to find a way to get rid of his own Sloth. Yeah, he'd have to find a way to get rid of his own Sloth in order to be able to pendulum summon to begin with. So he may have to use Sloth to attack over something. And he opted to activate an Endymion in his other pendulum scale, of which he already has one. Looks like he's trying to bait the Crescendo out.
Get another
Removing counters from the field spell to try and bait out the Crescendo. I don't really think he has many options here. It might not be bait as much as just his last play. We'll see what he has in his hand. It's fine. Okay, so resolves and it summons. Oh, alright. So Fi's allowed both of his Galateas to be destroyed. Interesting. And now Endymion's going to get 2 counters. Wondering why he did not crescendo that. Should have crescendoed that probably, I would assume.
This could be huge for Ramiro.
Yeah. enter battle damage fairly early. Looks like Phi has Symbol Skeleton in hand. He's going to be drawing 2 for a turn. Looks like it's going to be negated by Endymion. Impermanence on slots, so you're going to summon from extra deck. That was a good play saving that. Banishing Symbol Skeleton. This is going to get him a Galatea Dingirsu or a Long Girsu. What I think a good play would be, to be either to go into Dingirsu to send or into Long Girsu, as long as he can banish another Orcust to shuffle back and to send his Endymion on board. The only issue with that would be that he would need a second banish. If he goes into Galatea, he can summon set the field spell, giving him more quick play options on his opponent's turn, such as using Symbol Skeleton to create another Dingirsu from grave, which would allow him to send a scale if there was something problematic. If I has another Dingirsu in extra deck, he can make a play there as well. Because he did impermanence the Sloth. He's going straight into Symbol Skeleton. Oh, looks like he's making Dingirsu over the Galatea, and he's sending the Endymion. And he's attacking over the Sloth. Yep, looks like he's entering battle phase, and he's attacking with Dingirsu and Symbol Skeleton. That won't be enough to kill Ramiro, but certainly his board isn't left standing. Ending on Galatea Crescendo with Babel on board. It's about your below average Orcust turn 1 board, but after a grind, you can't expect the board to be in turn 1 status. He's got enough to carry this game through, though, setting return.
And he will be able to use all the Orcust effects on his opponent's turn with Babel being up.
Everything is quick play. So Ramiro can Pendulum Summon 2 if he can find a way. 1 to Galatea's zone and 1 to his own extra monster zone. So it'd give him access to a couple more plays, but we'll have to see what he has in his hand. Looks like he has a Curtain Raiser in his hand, and trying to be quiet so I don't spoil anything. Looks like Pendulum Summoning 2, going for the Jackal King. And another Jackal King. I think it's just because they're big right now and extra monster negates if spells get activated. Oh, field spell gets activated. It's going to give counters to either of the Jackal Kings if it gets negated. Does not get negated, which looks like it was not. Instead, Fi's opted to activate Dingirsu, or activate Symbol Skeleton in chain to summon Dingirsu, and looks like he's going to crescendo the Jackal King that attempts to use its effect to negate. Looks like he's sending one and he banished the other with the crescendo. So Ramiro no longer has any monsters on board, which means that if he can't make a play here, looks like Phi has the game. Yep. All Phi has to do now is to summon enough monsters to swing for damage.
Yeah, I'm thinking this could be it.
Using return to draw 2. He has a Hornet Drones in hand. Yep. He's going to be making probably Kagari. Yep. Kagari will add it to hand. It'll also gain attack based on spells engraved. So at this point, all he has to do is Scrap Recycle, even better. This is full combo. He just has to make enough damage on board to win the game. So if he were to summon Boral Sword with this, and then Dingirsu. Yep.
Yep, that's what we're seeing.
That looks like that's game. I have to step away briefly. Brian, do you want that?
And that is the game, folks. Borrelsword and Dingirsu direct attack.
Congratulations, B, for winning the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Solo top cut.
Well, thank you to all of our viewers who have been watching our stream today. And it looks like that's all we have for tournaments for the day. The last solo top cut finishing and the group teams finishing earlier in the day. So, I'd like to give one last shout out to all of you guys for watching with us.
Thank you very much. And be sure if you missed anything else earlier in the stream to check Pixel Palace out on YouTube. They will have all of the edited versions of all the duels. So please check those out. And we'd like to thank our viewers. Thank you so much for your love and support.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why are you sticking it? I guess I'll take it. We did a great job. That's what we did. How was that?
Alright. Hey, Brian.
I don't know, 1,400 total views.
I think we have more than that. I don't know if that's... Alright, is that it?
Yeah,
Are we done?
That's up to, I mean, if you want to say anything else, we kind of closed it out.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This will all be archived and uploaded to YouTube later. So thanks for tuning in.